Hello, hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Danganronpa V3, Killing Harmony. In the last episode, literally the last person I would ever have expected is apparently somehow involved in all of this. Himiko. We know that she's been acting weird. The game has been saying, hey, maybe there's more to this. I just assumed that she thought that everyone was in on it. You know, anyone could be the killer. Ooh, like, I thought she was scared about that. No! She's involved. This is literally the last person I ever suspected. I saw Himiko.
I was in my lab, trying to think of what I should write to convince Kokichi.
And his lab is right there. Literally right... She's carrying the black bag. That's the bag. Unless there's another bag. But that looks like... I believe the crossbow was in that. In Maki's lab, I believe that's where the crossbow was being kept. I think. Unless there are two black bags that look very similar, and one of them has just disappeared. Why would Himiko bring Kaito the crossbow? Surely that's something Maki would do. My gut is saying surely this must be some kind of red herring. Maybe she brought him food in a bag that looked very similar to the one that the crossbow was in. And the food bag has just gone missing. Why would... To be honest, why would Himiko bring him food? To be nice? I don't know. This is completely unexpected. I did not see this. If you could see my face, I have the biggest smile right now. The biggest smile, because this is completely unexpected.
That's when I saw her walking toward the hangar, clutching something in her hands. I think it was a black bag. A black bag?
At the time, I assumed she was going there to examine things or plead with Kokichi. And since she came back later, I didn't think much of it. But after seeing her reaction this morning, I started to get a little suspicious. What did you see?
Why?
She was acting like she had something to hide. It's not that I want to suspect her.
You're right.
True, it is suspicious.
Hey!
You said you saw her come back as well. Was she holding the bag at that time?
Well...
Now that I think about it, she didn't. So she had it coming in but not leaving. It has to be. That black bag Himiko was carrying was... By the way, this is a little off topic, Shuichi, but...
Huh?
Huh? What is it?
As I thought.
The reason I wasn't feeling well may have been due to the electro bomb. But it was because of the electromagnetic particles, not because I'm a robot. So what I experienced was akin to an allergic reaction, such as hay fever.
Which means...
So it could have affected a human the same way. Being a robot had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Right, that must be it. So that thing Himiko said was bothering him. He really is a bit too sensitive. He's not sensitive. Y'all are just jerks to him. She basically called him a toaster. Why can't y'all be nicer to Keebo? He is a vital member of the team. He has come forward with so many different clues. He's literally the only reason why we got through the third trial. I think it was the third trial. The one with where he took a picture. The only reason we got through that trial is because of Keebo. You'll need to treat him better. Keebo's account has been added to the truth bullet section of your monopad. Okay, now, very quickly, doesn't look like there's anyone else out here, so Himiko. The hangar's shutter. There's a security alarm here. You have to use the alarm remote to disable it to get near the shutter. If you come near the shutter without the remote, a loud alarm would go off around the entire academy. We had to use an electro bomb to disable the sensor and the alarm. That's how we got into the hangar. It's not exactly a bomb, though, even if it is called an electro bomb. It jams electronic signals by scattering particles that interfere with electromagnetic waves. For 2 hours, any and all electronic devices within 50 yards will be completely disabled. It's perfect for any secret activities, too, since it doesn't leave any debris behind. This invention is extraordinary, but I only have 3 of them. So I need to use them carefully. You guys will have to settle for the electro hammers. Now that I think about it, there were 3 electro bombs total. One was stolen by Maki, but what of the other 2? Electro bomb has been added to the truth bullet section of your monopad. Okay, but I want to go in. I need to confront Himiko. There's a sensor alarm here. You have to use the alarm remote to disable it to get near the shutter. If you come near the shutter without the remote, yeah, this is the same as before.
If I remember correctly.
But it seems like I can't. That wasn't what I wanted. Okay, I guess we can't look at stuff out here. We can't use Y to see what we can see. I'm just like I need to go and confront Himiko. I need to go and confront her. Excuse me. There we go. This is the bathroom window. This is the hangar's only window, and it's not possible to fit through.
I knew it.
That means the only way to get into this hangar is through the shutter. That's about all I was concerned with in the hangar.
But
I still don't have enough clues. There has to be more. The other places that might yield some clues are...
Okay.
Maki's lab and my lab. The crossbow in the bathroom and the bottle of poison. I need to investigate those leads.
All right.
I should also inspect the 3 exosols that were protecting Monokuma. Why were they protecting him in the first place? It wasn't protection. That's the thing, it wasn't protection. That might be related to the case as well. But Himiko was doing shit. I guess Shuichi doesn't care about that. Okay. Now then, hello. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I would assume I have. I don't like robots. I've definitely mentioned that in other Let's Plays. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it here. Yeah, I am terrified of robots. The only enemy in Doctor Who that actually scares me is the Cybermen. I'm shit scared of them. The exosol isn't showing any signs of moving. if Kokichi is alive, he can use his remote control to move them as he pleases. But that remote control Kokichi has for the Exisouls, what is it exactly? Does he have that because he's the mastermind? Well, I mean, we have no there's no way of proving that. He could have picked it up when, you know, the key card he got. We still don't know where that took him to. The remote control could have been there. There's no way of, like, that isn't definitive proof. I know that Kokichi was saying, like, oh, this proves I'm the mastermind. It really doesn't. The Exisal isn't showing any signs of moving. Yeah, okay. It's exactly the same. I'm just... No, that was Exisal blue and then Exisal yellow. Yeah, okay, exactly the same. Let me just... Okay, so... That one appears to have... And by that one, I mean yellow. Oh, no. Okay, so they all have... They all have, like, rust on one shoulder. Okay, I was thinking maybe this one had been attacked, but no. Okay, they all look like that. Fair. Why did the green one split off? Kokichi could have been controlling it, but... My thought is that Monokuma specifically called out, oh, the electro hammer fucked it up. The electro hammer caused the door to open. I should get another look at where the Exisals are. I mean, I did. I looked at all of them. Okay, are we maybe... My thought was like the spot where Monokuma was? No. I'm pretty... Yeah, they all have tails that look like that. You know, I can't... Yeah, I can't Y to see something specific. Is there... I mean, there are these little corner areas. Is there... No, nothing in there. Oh, hello there! Okay, yeah. There's an electro hammer here. But why? And it's out of power. It must have been used. Yeah, so Monokuma was saying someone used an electro hammer to get into this one. Who's the only person who isn't using an electro? We can say, okay, Shuichi was using his electro hammer, Himiko had hers, Tsumugi had hers, so on and so forth. The only electro hammers we haven't seen, Kaito's and Maki's. And Maki expressly was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use this knife, I'm gonna use this knife. Hello. And it's out of power, it must have been used. But used for what?
Well, you know.
But be careful! The electro hammer runs out of battery pretty quickly. So if you use it against an Exisal, it'll run out of juice with just one shot. Got it?
If I remember correctly...
If the electro hammer's power is expended, it requires 24 hours to recharge. We know that for certain. Used electro hammer has been added to the truth bullet section of your monopad. I remember the site I saw yesterday. Exisals protecting Monokuma for some reason. Again, it's interesting that you see that and you think, oh, they're protecting him and not... That clearly looks like he's being kept prisoner. He stood in one spot, in a boring spot, and they're just circling him. Like, if he had, like, an armchair, a TV, some snacks, then I'd be like, oh yeah, they're protecting him. But he's just stood in a really boring room whilst they circle him. That does not look like protection to me. Exosoul's protecting Monokuma for some reason. Kokichi said he was the mastermind. The Exosoul should have been around him. So why were they still protecting Monokuma? And 4 of them too. I suppose I was so caught up thinking about Kokichi, I ignored Monokuma. How did I know you were gonna appear at that? Monokuma is such an attention hog. He would not like that at all. Pay attention! Listen up! Take heed, I say! Monokuma?
And another thing.
It's just, I noticed that you came this way last night, Shuichi.
Huh?
Hoo-hoo-hoo. You were acting all sneaky, weren't you? Like a teenage boy trying to creep into the adult movie section of the video store.
No way!
But you didn't need to sneak around, because the Exosouls wouldn't have attacked you.
Hey!
What are you saying? We didn't have to sneak...
Cuz
everyone's coming to rent adult movies, so in a way, everyone going there is the same.
Wait!
No, not that. I meant about the Exosouls not attacking us.
Yeah?
Oh, at the time, the Exosouls were on autopilot and directed to only observe me.
Hey,
Their movements are more limited now that the Mono Cubs aren't around to pilot them.
Huh?
Autopilot? You mean the remote control that Kokichi has?
well...
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So the Exosouls were being controlled by Kokichi's remote control. But they were focusing on Monokuma like they were his jail guards, not bodyguards.
Hey!
Why are you telling me all of this? This puts the person controlling you at a disadvantage.
Hey,
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about this.
yeah.
Even if it puts someone at a disadvantage, the class trial must always be fair. The person who shared that info with me didn't seem interested in sharing it with you guys.
Hey!
So you share it instead. That way, it'll be fair to all the participants. So someone else besides me knows this. Why wouldn't they share this information?
Okay!
Okay, that's all I can tell you.
Yeah!
By the way, renting movies is so old school, it's more thrilling to illegally download them.
Psycho Pop!
It's like trying not to get caught by a big game hunter while holding your breath during sex. What's that metaphor? What is that metaphor? This information about the Exosouls could be a clue to solving this case. I should remember this. Exosouls protecting Monokuma has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your monopad. Okay, now this is interesting. This is... Here's my thought. The only 2 electro hammers out of play that we know about, theoretically, are Maki and Kaito. Now, my argument, I'm coming up with like arguments against that, because here's the thing. If Maki used her own electro hammer and she dumped it here, why would she not just go and get Kaito's? So then it would look like, oh, someone used Kaito's because this is totally mine. It's my electro hammer. Like, they all look the same. It's not like they have their names written on them. In which case she could claim, oh yeah, that clearly must be Kaito's electro hammer. I'm not using Kaito's. Or, you know, if she knew, like, she dumped it here saying, yeah, oh yeah, I'm not going to use my electro hammer. Don't go to my room to check it's there. Don't be doing that. Just, like, trust me, it's, like, totally in my room. I'm just going to use this knife instead. That is suspicious. I was gonna say, could Himiko, could this be Himiko's hammer, and then she went to go get Kaito's? But then if she had the electro hammer on her when she arrived, Keebo would have seen it. She just had the bag. She didn't have the electro hammer on her. Could Keebo have had it? Because he's not. If he's the culprit, he's not gonna tell us. Oh yeah, I went in there with my electro hammer. This. How deep do we want to go? That's the question. How deep do we want to go down this rabbit hole? My initial reaction was that we've got an electro hammer here, and we have someone saying, oh yeah, I'm not going to use mine, I'm going to use this knife instead. That's weird, that's sus. But again, it's so sus that I'm like, if you knowingly left your electro hammer here, why would you not go and get Kaito's? Purposefully not using it, knowing you've left yours here, that's weird. And I don't think Maki is dumb. I think either she wouldn't have known about this, or she would have gone to get Kaito's. Maki's she's very insistent. She's extremely insistent that Kaito is dead and Kokichi killed him. She's extremely insistent to the point where I would argue she's gaslighting Shuichi. You know, oh, you're behaving irrationally. I'm not willing to investigate with you because you're behaving irrationally by suggesting there are other possibilities here. Like, I would argue that's gaslighting. She's trying to convince him that, you know, any other possibility, oh no, that shouldn't be investigated. We should focus in on this one specific thing. I'm like, she's so insistent, but we also have evidence that Himiko is involved. Maki and Kaito working together makes sense because they're really good friends. Himiko and Kaito haven't really interacted, so I'm like, why would she do all this? But we have, I would say I trust Keebo. Keebo's one of the more honest people here. You know, I'm gonna, for the time being, I'm going to assume that Keebo is being completely honest. He's not leaving anything out. I'm just going to trust in what he says. So we have someone who's saying, oh yeah, I saw Himiko go in there. Could Maki have disguised herself as Himiko? They're two different heights. Are they? I think they are. Excuse me, where is... Yeah, you can see. You can see right there. 5'4", 4'11". Keebo was standing on an upper floor window, but even so, like, looking at a diagonal, I think you'd be able to tell. I think you'd be able to tell, hold up, Himiko grew a few inches. What the fuck is this? Yeah, I think I'm barking up the wrong street there. I think that was Himiko. If it was Maki in disguise, you'd be able to say, like, wait, she suddenly grew and then she got shorter again. What the fuck is this? Why? As I said, Maki getting involved makes perfect sense. Himiko and Kaito have barely interacted. Girl, I am confused. I want to confront you, but the game isn't letting me back into the hangar. Okay, let's head out. It was our lab and Maki's lab. I believe Shuichi said he wanted to explore. So let's just hurry along. I do wonder where Maki is investigating. If she is even investigating. I'm gonna keep an eye out on the mini-map. This is the right way. Aha. The chapter 5 case always tends to be the one with the most moving parts. This is I have so much to think about. There's so much whizzing through my head right now, and I'm just trying to process all of it and make sense out of it. And I don't think I'm doing a particularly good job. There we go. Face that way. Let's just back it up. There we go. Okay, well, I'm glad to see that Maki isn't barring us from her lab. I feel as though there are less weapons here than I remember. All right, everyone's here. I hope you're all ready. Are those weapons? So you went to my lab yesterday to find weapons to use against Monokuma. That's because Kaito had them. Now there's a... I had a thought and I can't tell if this was intentional or not. Because here's the thing. If one thing goes missing, if one important thing goes missing, you're going to notice it. If 26 things goes missing, and 25 of them were meaningless, and one of them was important, you're going to be less likely to notice that. Because there are so many things that went missing. It's like, oh god. Brain, don't do this to me. Don't do this. It's the ABC Murders. There we go. It's kind of like the ABC Murders by Agatha Christie. I don't want to get too into it because for anyone who hasn't read it, it's really good. But it's the concept of hiding one important thing amongst others that are less important. If that makes any kind of sense. If you've read the ABC Murders, you'll understand what I mean completely, but doing multiple or taking a bunch of stuff so you don't realise the one important thing that is missing. I can't tell if that was intentional or not. I can't tell if there was some pre-planning there, or if it was a case of, you know, Kaito did all this, and then someone else came along and was like, let me grab this, and hopefully no one will notice because Kaito grabbed a bunch of shit. We're just gonna search. We're just gonna search. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna collect the clues. We're gonna analyze them, and hopefully we'll find the truth. I feel as though there are less weapons here than I remember. Alright, everyone's here. I hope you're all ready. Are those weapons? So you went to my lab yesterday to find weapons to use against Monokuma. We literally just had this scene a minute ago. It's because Kaito had them. Okay. Hold the I don't think he took a gun. I don't think he took a gun, but there's one missing. Look at all these guns. There's one missing! Even if they're all airsoft guns, it's a remarkable sight. There's one. There is one very obviously missing gun. There should be 9. There are 8. I think, yeah, that's 8. I can count. I swear I can count. As I suspected, there are 2 black bags here, identical to the one in the hangar. They're the cases for the crossbows. The crossbows are inside, but disassembled.
No.
It looks as if they don't even fit in the case unless they're disassembled. But there are 2. When I was here with Kaito before, there were 3 of them. And I'm sure that Kaito didn't have a crossbow with him. That's a thought. I'm seeing, obviously we have like the long poles. We've got a big fuck-off axe. We've got a chainsaw. Another type of chainsaw, I think. Knives, axes. I'm not seeing a gun in there. I'm not, unless it's like hidden deep down and I just can't pick it out. I am not seeing a gun, so who took the gun? Who's got a gun? Yeah, we didn't find that in the hang. Someone has a gun. That's not good. That's not good at all. And I'm sure that Kaito didn't have a crossbow with him.
That's true.
In that case, the crossbow in the hangar must have come from here. Which means that someone must have brought it to the hangar from here. It's clearly Himiko, but why? We need to ask her. We need to get back into that hangar. But it's fairly difficult to put together the crossbow. I don't believe you'd be able to do it unless Maki taught you.
No.
I'll think more about that later. For now, I need to investigate. Crossbow has been updated in the truth bullet section of your monopad. I mean, clearly Himiko didn't put it together unless she's been getting secret crossbow lessons from Maki and no one's told us about that. I think Kaito must have put that together. Himiko goes to the bathroom. She gives him the crossbow. Why? I have no clue. Because did Himiko know that he had been taught about the crossbow? Maybe Himiko went earlier on in the day when no one was around? She has been trying to be more proactive. Maybe she was like, okay, what would Tenko do? Tenko would go and break him out, even if he is a degenerate male. And maybe she went and he was like, hey, go to Maki's lab. Get me one of the black bags. Because otherwise, I don't know why she'd think I should bring one of these black bags. Why not think, oh yeah, I'll bring him a gun. Or I'll bring him a knife. Why specifically go for this? I don't think she knew about the crossbows. I don't think she knew about crossbow practices. So he must have told her at some point. At some point, they must have had some kind of communication and he said, oi, go get me one of the crossbows. Or Maki, but then again, would Maki... I keep bringing up Maki because Maki and Kaito working together makes sense. It makes a lot more sense than Kaito and Himiko working together. Maybe Maki told Himiko, hey, I need a favor. I need you to go and deliver this to Kaito. Why wouldn't Maki do that herself, though? Maki doesn't strike me as the type of person to involve other people in her plans unless it was completely necessary. Maybe she was doing something else. Maybe she was preparing something else. I don't know. I'm stumped. I'm actually stumped. I think we're gonna go to the top floor. We're gonna go to the top floor. We're gonna investigate our lab. Hopefully we'll be able to have a chat with Himiko. Around this way. And up the stairs. Seriously, Himiko being involved in this has thrown all of my theories into flux. I'm utterly confused on that. Absolutely, utterly confused. That bottle of poison in the hangar, I need to confirm that it came from here. Okay. Again, okay, so we have stuff that is obviously out and about. Okay. Still, why? There we go. Let's just double check that nothing else is missing. Case files lined up for me to read. There's nothing off about them. They don't seem to be related. There are several bottles of poison lined up here. I haven't seen any poison outside of this lab, so the small bottle of poison I found must have come from here. There's a little less liquid inside this bottle than the others. Strike 9 poison. The label says Strike 9 poison. Okay. Oh, although it requires time to circulate even a okay. Okay. This poison takes some time to spread, but even a small amount of it can be lethal. I can't imagine that there's a smaller amount in this bottle for no reason. This must be a clue. Poison has been added to the truth bullet section of your monopad. Okay, so what is this? Knight's Hate Antidote. Something Lock Antidote. Okay, so these... Okay, there are a bunch of bottles on top of the desk. Did someone take them out? Knight's Hate Antidote, Harmlock Antidote, Arsenic Antidote. Okay, so they're Nightshade, Hemlock, Arsenic, and then Strike 9, that's strychnine poisoning. These bottles say Antidote. Antidotes, huh? I didn't know these were here. According to the labels, each bottle is only 1 dose. And each one only works on a specific poison. Well, I suppose that makes sense. There are plenty different kinds of poison, so that must be true for antidotes. I do apologise for the cut. I just got a phone call. Okay. Strike 9 poison and antidotes. That is disconcerting. None of these antidotes are for the Strike 9 poison. They're all for different poisons. What could that mean?
Alright,
I've investigated this room thoroughly. I didn't find any evidence to suggest Kaito isn't dead. On the contrary, there's plenty of evidence to suggest Kokichi isn't dead. How? How? I don't know what this evidence is, but like I've seen the the exact same things that you've seen, Shuichi, and I'm not seeing any evidence that says Kokichi is alive. Shuichi! Shuichi! Kokichi is a liar! Have you forgotten that? Kokichi is a liar and he didn't provide any evidence that says he is the mastermind. He just said it and he pulled out a remote that he could have gotten from anywhere. Shuichi, please. We need to be on the same page here, bud. Monokuma is still moving around and the killing game hasn't ended. And Kaito's clothes were in the hydraulic press. Again, Shuichi, are you attached to your clothes? I don't know about you, Shuichi. I change my clothes every single day. I'm not attached to my clothes, and I would assume neither you or Kaito are either. And Kaito's clothes were in the hydraulic press. Which means the victim must be...
No.
No, it's too soon to be thinking like that. If I investigate a little more, I'll find something. There's still time. I should head back to the hangar. Perhaps I missed something. I should check again. Okay. The fact that there are antidotes out... Okay, so we had the poison in the hangar. Now, I originally thought that has to be Maki. Poison seems to me like an assassin's trick. I just can't see Kaito being like, oh yeah, go get me some crossbows and some poison so that I can coat the bolts. I don't think that Kaito would think that far ahead. I think he'd just be like, yo, get me a weapon. You know, I don't think he'd think about like, oh, what if I only hit him in the knee and he's still alive, he becomes a Skyrim guard, but he's still like up and about. Maki's an assassin. She would have the pre-planning. She'd be like, hey, we might not shoot him somewhere lethal. So I'm gonna bring some poison so that even if we just nick him, it'll still kill him. That seems to be an assassin's trick. But then why would you go looking for an antidote? There is, we saw on Kaito's coat, there was a hole. I said before, maybe there was a struggle. Maybe Kokichi, you know, ran up to Kaito. Kaito has the crossbow. You know, I'm just gonna sit here just in case I run into a cutscene. Okay. So Himiko delivers the crossbow. Himiko delivers the crossbow, right? Maybe Maki delivered the bolts? And she, okay, so this, my brain is not doing the thing. Okay, just, I'm putting everything down. Pardon the rumblings. I'm putting everything on my desk so I can put my head in my hands. I can have a good think. Okay. Himiko delivers the crossbow. Maybe Maki delivered the bolts separately, and she had coated the bolts in the poison, and so she gives them to Kaito. Kokichi sees Kaito with the crossbow, and they struggle, and it goes off, and Kaito somehow gets shot in the arm. Wait, I'm acting this out. If you're curious. Maybe the bolt ricocheted. Then again, there wasn't. Was there sign to damage to the walls? I wasn't looking. Okay, maybe the crossbow ricochets. It strikes Kaito in the arm. He manages to push Kokichi off, and he puts a couple of bolts into him. Then it's a crossbow. Crossbows, generally speaking, aren't repeating. You need to load them. And he pushes Kokichi off. He manages to load a bolt. He shoots him. He does it again for good measure. But obviously he's been hit with the, because someone had to go looking for an antidote. Someone had to have gone looking for an antidote. Those weren't out before. And our options are either Himiko or Maki. But that doesn't explain the Exisal. What the fuck is the Exisal doing? Poison is an assassin's trick. I'm going to assume it was Maki. Maki would go and get an antidote for Kaito. Maki would absolutely be like, oh shit. Kaito accidentally shot himself. I need to go get the antidote. We didn't see any. There was the poison. All of the antidote bottles were marked, you know, arsenic antidote, not arsenic poison antidote. That bottle in there had the word poison on it, so it had to be the poison bottle, not the antidote bottle. We've seen no sign of the antidote bottle. And again, if it was Maki, she wouldn't run, get the antidote, and then decide, I can't be arsed with this. She really cares about Kaito. She'd come back. Maybe there wasn't a Strike 9 antidote in the lab. This is a lot. This is a lot. It's a lot, and I'm having to rely on educated guesses. That's the thing. I'm having to rely on things that I'm not necessarily being told, but would make sense. Again, Maki would absolutely get involved in this shit for Kaito. I don't know why Himiko is involved. That's real weird. But Maki absolutely would. She would try and free him. I could absolutely see Maki saying, yeah, I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting. I'm getting involved in this. And poison is an assassin's trick. I have so many questions. Actually, no. I have two main questions. One, what's going on with the Exisal? And two, where's that gun? There was a missing gun. Where is it? What's going on with that? You know what? I'm just about out of time for this episode, so I'm gonna end off right here. In the next one, I'm just gonna investigate whilst being very, very confused. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.